Today we're diving into Cuisineer, a roguelike dungeon crawling and restaurant management game. Join me as I spend 100 days in this cute game, where we dive into dungeons to gather ingredients, learn new recipes for a restaurant, and eventually pay our parents' debts. So let's begin this adventure. So for day one, I made my way to Pael. This would be where my family's restaurant is located. And upon arriving at the restaurant, I met Biscotti, which was my best friend in this game. So it seems my parents went for a trip around the world and they left us the restaurant to take care. Also, most of the stuff in this restaurant was sold by my parents so that they can afford their trip around the world. For now, since I was tired with my journey, I decided to sleep for the day. So the next day, my task was to speak with a carpenter so he can make me a table and a chair for our very first customer. So this giant wolf guy is Alder, and he's the carpenter of Pael. And after speaking with him, I made myself a small stool and a small table. I then placed the two furnitures in my restaurant. I then cooked noodles for Biscotti as a trial run for this restaurant. And she complimented how it's not bad. Alright, cool. I then checked my recipe book and I only had like 3 at the moment, which only required a flour. I then talked to a bunch of people in town, like Naicha right here, who sells bubble tea. Ank Healen. What she does is enchant equipments to have extra stats, or in this game it's called Brew. We have Briquette, the blacksmith, which can upgrade our gears, or also we can buy some gears off of her. Looking at her wares, I'm pretty poor and I can't afford anything at all. And with that out of the way, I decided to explore the Green Ruins. It was now time to look for some ingredients for our restaurant. So in the Green Ruins, it's filled with this fluffy things that I don't know how to describe them, but fluff balls. There are also a lot of chicken here and some ores I can use that will help them to make more furniture. Anyhow, so our main thing we need to do right now was to get ingredients to cook. There's also a decent amount of traps here, which was easily avoidable just by dashing. I then found this really cute chili monster, and I of course slapped my spatula on its face and got myself some flaming spice. Alright, so for the chicken, it drops both the egg and the chicken legs. And for the fluffy bowl thing, it drops flour. I then fought some tadpole-looking vegetable things that threw like seeds. And what they dropped is a vegetable called leafy greens. And cool, I found the way to the next floor. Let's go. But first though, I'll collect all the materials I can gather in the surroundings first. For the next floor, I entered this place that had like flags on them. It seems to be a challenge room where I have to defeat the monsters that spawn here. So there are a lot of monsters, so I need to be careful or else I'll die in vain. So yeah, there are also these boars, and what they do is they charge at your face. Fairly easily avoidable as long as I pay attention. And they drop meat. Then there was this tree monster, and what it gives is saps. Then there's this guy, a black bull, and it gives both meat and cheese. And cheese is very expensive, so it's always nice to have. Currently, I have a problem where I only have a limited amount of inventory slots, and I really need to focus on improving that. Anyways, after defeating the last monster here, I got a reward of a giant chest. Opening the chest, it dropped a lot of goodies. And the one I'm focused on right now is the giant sword that I can see. It's called the Deba knife. I immediately tried it out and oh my god, its attack speed is very slow, but 35 damage, I'll take it any day. And since my inventory was full, I then decided it was time to go home. So for our first dungeon dive, the rewards are pretty good. As I arrived in town, it was already nighttime. I then picked up a bunch of quests that the villagers were requesting from me. And then I slept for the day. The next day, I opened my restaurant for customers. I actually had cooked something beforehand, but I didn't know that once you cook something and put it in your inventory, you can't serve it anymore, because I have no way of understanding how I can serve this one on my inventory. It seems like I have to cook it fresh from the pot. And as you can see, there's one person waiting outside, but I only had like one table. So I can only serve one person at a time, so he just left. Anyways, there's a lot of different kinds of people that will come to your restaurant. There are old people and there are these travelers. The girl and the boy that you saw earlier were, I believe, the travelers, and they purchase most of the expensive stuff. For the old people and children, they mostly buy the cheaper stuff. So I always welcome those travelers because, like I said, they buy the most expensive stuff. Anyways, I did not really open my restaurant that long. I only served like 3 dishes in total and got myself about 120 in earnings. Plus the tips, which result to like 134. Anyways, I spoke to another one of the NPCs of this village called Zenzu. She's one of the boba girls that we can buy potions from. I also resume in getting some side quests. Basically, quests in this game will reward you with recipes. Like for Alder right here, if we complete his request, he'll give us a recipe for an omelette. And then there was this llama NPC called Pastel de Nata, and she sells a bunch of stuff that expands our potion slots and also our backpack. So I'm going to be focusing on the backpack next because I want more ingredients that I can carry after all my adventures. Other merchants like this guy that comes once every week in the game will sell like random goods like plants, carpets, furnitures, and other goodies. Anyways, I went back to the green ruins. I needed to collect a lot of rock, wood, and ingredients for our restaurant. The wood and the rock will serve as something we'll need to make more tables and chairs. Also, there was this pig monster that was different from the other pig monster that dropped meat. This one drops fatty meat. I guess it was rounder and plumpier than the other pig-looking monster. For that pig monster, it's fairly easy to defeat. It only attacks like a poison fart or something if you don't stagger it. Also, for the wood and the stone, if it's glowing or sparkling, that means it's harvestable. Other trees can't be harvested. I then encountered one of the, I guess, annoying types of enemies in the game. So these guys are responsible for dropping rice, and they have a buff sometimes, a green looking buff that makes them invulnerable to all attacks, and that's pretty annoying. That's why I hate this guy. I also encountered this humanoid-like monster which throws like net and slashes with a dagger. So this thing actually drops like one of the most expensive things in the game, which is cheese, some green spices, and other goodies. It's actually very hard to defeat, and as you can see, I'm dying. Also, the spooky-looking tree, I'm not sure if I explained it earlier, but it drops sap. Its attack, it basically just throws like some thorns or summons some thorns on the ground where I'm standing. Not really a threat if you stagger it because it can't attack once staggered. Anyways, I got a cool new weapon called the Kebab Skewer. And it's a one-handed spear that's very fast. Anyway, since my inventory was full, it was now time to go home. I then went home and slept. Next morning, Biscotti paid me a visit, as well as this dude called Iberico. He then told me he was from the Pael tax office and we have a massive debt. My parents have a massive debt. Right now, we need to pay 2,000 coins or the premise will be repossessed and sold to the highest bidder. Oh my god, we need 2,000 coins right now. And so with one table on my restaurant, I opened it again and I cooked for this girl right here, which needed steamed rice. Wow, 14 coins. Amazing. Eat well, little one. Anyhow, I continued serving the customers for a bit, close my restaurant, and pick up a bunch of new side quests that I can do. Also finished my quest with a carpenter and he gave me the omelette recipe. It's a 2-star dish which I can't make because I don't have the station at the moment. And with some extra cash and some materials, I made myself 3 stool and 3 table. I was actually short with a table, but hey, at the very least, I have 3 serving tables now. Let's go. I can serve 3 customers at the same time. So in this game, there are 3 types of, I guess, time for food. There's lunchtime and dinner time. I'm not entirely sure what the orange one indicates, but I think it's a snack time. Anyways, as you can see, our restaurant is bustling. It was just a trial period on a lunchtime rush, and I managed to earn myself about 274 gold, and I'm pretty proud of myself. And so I then resumed my journey at the Green Ruins again because I needed more materials and more food. As you can see right now, I'm using the barbecue skewer. It's a pretty fast spear. The damage is not that high compared to my giant sword though, but it's pretty fun to use. It has this ability where I launch my barbecue and the surrounding barbecue will explode and I throw my stick. Anyways, my main focus right now was to get some wood and stone so I can make more table and other furnitures I want to decorate my restaurant with. I then cleared another one of those challenges and got rewarded with a giant chest. I got myself a new weapon called the spatula. So this thing was a one-handed sword and it was pretty fast. The dash attack was a circular AoE, which was pretty good. Damage wasn't there though, but I still like it though because it was fast. Wait, actually, I think my first weapon was a spatula. I don't remember anymore. Anyways, with more ingredients unlocked, I unlocked a lot of new recipes. But as you can see, I can't really make a fry deck because I need a frying pan first. Also, I swear to God, upgrading stuff requires a lot of money. So I need to frequently open my restaurant. So at the very least, I can get some money. The next day, I visited Alder again. I wanted to check what else he was making or what else he can do. So upgrading a restaurant would require a lot of golden materials as well. And currently, my restaurant can only handle one cooking station. So I need to upgrade this place in order to put another cooking station. Anyhow, now we have 4 areas where our customers can dine in. And so I opened my restaurant again in order to earn some money so we can pay our tax. Lunchtime honestly is the most stressful, but I'm just thankful that most of the customers will just grab the food by themselves. All I really need to do is cook the food they request and get the money they will pay. And for that session, I earned myself 1,163 gold, enough to pay our tax, but I think my main focus right now would be to upgrade my restaurant and just pay the tax later. And so with the money I earned, I upgraded my fridge, so now I have more spot to put more ingredients in. I also upgraded my boiler, so now I can have 2 food in queue. And so I opened my restaurant again, and these soldier customers are my favorite because they are fast. They move fast, they eat fast, and they pay fast. Just notice how that wolf soldier just chowed down the food I just made and now paid and left. So these guys are really nice customers to have in the restaurant. They eat fast. Also, I love like lunchtime or dinner time as there are so many customers because honestly, if it's not lunch or dinner, there's just like almost no activity at all, so there's nothing to do. Anyways, after closing my restaurant, I earned about 1.2k gold. I checked out my pot and I need to upgrade it one more time before it can craft tier 2 dishes. So the higher the tier the dish is, the more expensive it is and the more materials it uses. And I'm aiming for that. The next morning, I went to the carpenters and made myself a beginner's frying pan. Can't really place it yet because I have a limit of only 1 cooking station. And so I went back to the Green Ruins to get more ingredients and more materials. I was also in a tight spot where I was gonna die if I get hit one more time. I tried my best, but I still died anyways. I did, however, get to keep some of the items that I've looted, so I guess it's okay. It's not really okay. I'm not okay. Anyhow, I submitted a few quests and got myself some caramel cake recipe. Well, that was it. And it was time to go back to the Green Ruins again. Not really sure if a person has a birthday of the day. Do I give them gifts or something? I wasn't entirely sure, so I just went to the dungeon instead. I then found this tree monster that drops like bombs everywhere, coconut bombs. And what he drops is something called an exotic fruit. I call it coconut because it looks like coconut. And this is what I mean by it looks like coconut. So this is the exotic fruit. Anyways, I didn't stay very long at the dungeon because I easily got my HP drained, but I still got a good amount of rewards for this day. The next day, I went to Pastel de Nata and upgraded my backpack to tier 2 and resumed gathering materials and ingredients at the Green Ruins. After getting home, I noticed that my refrigerator is getting full already, so I need to open my shop the next day. And that's what I did. I needed some money to upgrade my restaurant anyways. I wanted another cooking station like the beginner's frying station. So I spent the entire day opening the restaurant and serving the customers. And I see that I'm still lacking in furnitures because there's still some people waiting in line. That's another thing I should consider, getting more tables. Anyways, I closed down after the lunchtime rush and then earned myself 800 gold, so I had enough to upgrade my restaurant. So it takes like 2 in-game days before the restaurant is finished upgrading, so we're gonna have to wait for that. For the next thing I made was a beginner's oven, and next would be the prep table, but I'll need to continuously upgrade my restaurant so I can put all the cooking stations. I then bought some boba tea from the Boba Sisters. I then opened my restaurant again for the dinner rush and earned about 1,500 gold. I really should consider paying my tax now. And so the next day, I went to Eberico and paid my tax. With this, I was very happy that I am now debt-free. Or am I? Anyways, one of the reward from paying the tax was this glove right here, which gave me flaming skin and some increased damage on a flame. At the very least, I have a gloves that gave me like some benefits plus 5 HP. Anyhow, the grind started again at the Green Ruins. I actually managed to reach the boss of floor 3, which was a BBC, the big black chicken. So this thing was, I guess, pretty tanky, so I really need to avoid its kunai. But as you can see, it's not really that threatening as long as I dodge everything. If I can dodge everything. So this thing's attack pattern is pretty simple. One would be him just throwing knives everywhere, which I can easily dodge just by running around as long as I'm not close. Another was the raining feathers that he does. Not really that hard to dodge as well. And then he's like that character where he sucks up his feathers after throwing it out. It's pretty cool. Anyways, another attack is like his jumping attack, but yeah, as long as we're not near him, we're fine. Anyhow, the fight took a while because my damage wasn't really amazing, but I still did my best and I eventually killed it. For the rewards, there were a bunch of equipments that I don't have yet, and as you can see, I really don't have any more spot left. One of the drop was this thing called a Dorian Bomb, and it poisons enemies, I guess, as the gas passed through them. Then there was this thing called the Egg Timer Bomb, where I throw eggs and it would explode on impact. A really nice gloves with 4% crit rate, and the boots that gives like 25% more crit damage. I'm pretty happy with this loot. Since I still had some boba tea and like 72 HP, I continued my adventures on floor 4. Yeah, because I had like full inventory, it was time to go home or else everything I'm doing right now was a total waste. The next day, Eberico paid me a visit and congratulated me on paying my parents' first debt. And he said it was unfortunate that we have 10,000 more debts or the premise will be confiscated or something. God dang, my parents have so much debt. Anyway, after all that talk about debt, my parents gave me a letter saying they're enjoying their trip around the world. Also told me about a place called the Mala Caverns where it has like flaming spice or other ingredients that I can find here. Alright, if you notice, my restaurant got bigger, so the upgrade was already completed and now I can put down the beginner frying area. I then rearrange a bunch of my tables so it's, more convenient, I guess, for me to move around in the place. But not for the customers, I assume. Anyways, with the frying area, I can now make fried food. So for now, I had a quest to give like 10 pieces of fried eggs, so that's what I'm doing right now. And after submitting my quest, I got a recipe for a popia. And man, everything here looks delicious. Then I went to the carpenters and bought myself a long wooden table and 3 stools. And as you can see, I think this is a dumb idea because I wouldn't be able to move through my restaurant. So I need to move like 1 table away. And this looks fine, honestly. So I opened my restaurant because I needed money. And as you can see, the place is bustling with more table. More people can come in and buy my food. I then closed my restaurant for now and earned myself 1,000 gold. And with this, I can now upgrade my pot station into a decent pot. Now I can make tier 2 dishes with this. Reopened my restaurant and rearranged my tables for easier movement. And by the end of the day, I earned another 600 gold. I then upgraded my basic frying pan to tier 2, which now has a capacity of 2. I opened my restaurant again for the dinner rush. I basically close my restaurant from time to time whenever I earn enough gold so I can upgrade my stations. The third opening, I earned about 766 gold, which is nice. Now I can upgrade my refrigerator, but I didn't have materials, so I decided to upgrade my frying station instead, so I can craft tier 2 dishes. The next day, I roamed through town, and seems like I had a lot more new quests I can do. I then had an interaction with Dofu right here, a panda NPC, and what he does is he trades other ingredients for other ingredients, and since I had an abundance of chicken meat, rice, and egg, I can change them to other ingredients that I haven't really gotten yet. I then completed a quest for truffle right here, and now he gave me a recipe for a steamed chicken rice. Also finished another quest, and he gave me the recipe for a mi rebus. Not really sure if I pronounced that correctly, but anyway, it looks delicious. Completed another quest for olive right here, and got myself a pork fried rice recipe. Finished Old Man Fossilier's request, and got myself a recipe for a prata. So yeah, I'm slowly building up my cookbook so we can sell even more quality dishes at our restaurant. Anyhow, I checked out how much money I need to upgrade my restaurant to level 3, and I need 1,200 gold. And so I opened my restaurant to earn the money I need to upgrade it further so I can add the other cooking stations that I have, like the oven and the preparation table. Then close the restaurant once I earned about 1,200 gold so I can start upgrading it. And once that was done, I then reopened it and sold a bunch more food. And by the end of the day, I earned about 1.9 thousand gold. Tier 2 dishes really help a lot in increasing our earning. The next day, I went to Pastel de Nata to upgrade my backpack to tier 3. I'm just happy to expand my backpack so I can bring back more ingredients and materials at home after each adventure. Anyways, it was now time to try the new dungeon called the Mala Caverns. And for completing a quest of trying this place out, I got a reward called the Smackarel. It's a one-handed sword similar to the spatula, and the attack is similar as well. So yeah, this is the Maha Caverns. It's filled with monsters like the bull, so this is a great place to get some tough meat as well as some potatoes. So we now have a new ingredient on our restaurant, the potato. Also, for the material of this place, there's a new type of wood that gives, also a new type of ore called the sunstone. I also discovered that there's another tree-like monster here, and what it does is it summons these little mushrooms, and I believe those mushrooms will explode on impact. Anyways, this tree drops some mushrooms. There's also this thing that snipes really far. I'm not really sure what this thing is, but it gives like sap after killing it. Anyhow, I looked at this new weapon. I think I'm not really sure what it's called anymore. But basically, it's a swordfish that you stab, and its attack is that water tsunami that you just saw earlier. Pretty strong. I like the tsunami. There were also tomato monsters now. They were pretty easy to defeat, but pretty annoying because they have like a lot of projectiles. Anyways, they drop tomatoes because they're tomato monsters. Anyhow, after getting back to town, I noticed there were a lot of new quests piling up. I'm very happy to know that there are a lot of things I can do that would enable me to receive new recipes. And since I had the items to finish one of the quests, I finished Basil's quest and got a recipe for a veggie tempura. The next morning, it seems that my restaurant has fully upgraded. So now it was time to redecorate our stuff because our restaurant expanded. With this expansion, I was able to bring out my oven. As you can see, it's just besides the refrigerator. And the moment I stepped out of the restaurant, I was surprised that there were more quests waiting for me. I then checked to see how much upgrading my restaurant would cost, and I would need 2,000 gold. And with this, I would have the final slot needed to put the last cooking station that I have, which would be the preparation table. And afterwards, I opened my store so I can earn some money to upgrade my restaurant some more. And after the dinner rush was over, I then explored the town at night. It seems there were more quests waiting for me. And since I already have the thing that this guy was looking for, I finished his quest and got a recipe for a tonkatsu. And with enough money, I initiated the upgrade of my restaurant to level 4. The next day, I explored the Maha Cavern again for those lovely ingredients. And these are what I managed to get for today's adventure. The next day, I got a mail from Biscotti giving me an extra chest and refrigerator for my room. This is pretty great because we've been expanding a lot of our materials and I don't have any place to store them. I then finished one of my side quests from Ankylin and got chashu ramen recipe. Also finished Pastel de Nata's request, got a recipe for pizza. And since I believe my restaurant upgraded again, I placed down a preparation table. Now I have all the 4 cooking stations. And so I opened my restaurant because I really needed some money. I then upgraded my oven to a decent oven. After the upgrade, I then reopened my restaurant and started selling goodies again. After closing the shop, I then went out and finished a quest which earned me a recipe for a Caesar salad. The next day, I went to Naicha and finished her quest. I got myself a maki roll recipe as well as a cheesy baked potato recipe. So as you can see, slowly I'm building up my recipe book. I then went dungeon diving afterwards because I needed wood to upgrade my restaurant as well as upgrade my weapon and everything else. Defeated the big black chicken before calling it a day. It's always nice to defeat the boss here as it drops a lot of equipment with random bonuses. Also, for items with like foo enhancements, you can sell it a lot to the blacksmith. After returning home, I finished one of Olive's quests and got a recipe for a beefy donbori. I then upgraded my prep table to a decent prep table. Now it can craft tier 2 recipes. Also, never really mentioned this, but the extra equipments I get, I sell them straight to the blacksmith. And I get a pretty decent amount of gold. And then I tried upgrading my gear. It only increased the damage by +1, but it's still good. But anyways, once we upgrade an equipment, we can't really get it back, not until the next day. So I guess for today, I'll just spend my entire day opening my restaurant. Need some money anyways, so this is fine. Just look at the amount of customers I have. So upon searching up, it seems that I guess the restaurant level plus the reputation level increases the amount of customers I get in my restaurant. More customers means more orders and more orders means more money. And by the end of the day, I got a total of 3,700 coins. Let's go. The next morning, I tried out brewing and putting inside a crab on my sword. Got a 3-star crit rate up perk. Am I very lucky to get this? That's crazy. Also, similar to the blacksmith, I won't be able to take back my sword not till tomorrow, so opening the restaurant is the only thing I can do today. And after opening my restaurant for a consecutive number of days, I now had 7,700 gold. The next morning, I completed some quests and got a recipe for a roasted chicken rice. Grabbed my weapon from the blacksmith, but it seems the brewing station, it was that person's day off today, so I can't really grab my large sword. So since I had a lot of cash in my pockets, I bought 2 adventure backpack upgrades. So I'm now down to my last upgrade. I currently have 35 slots right now. Also, for the rest of the day, I decided to go to the Maha Caverns even if I don't have my 2-handed sword. I believe my swordfish was strong enough to, at the very least, get a bunch of recipes. I did get a tenderizer, so now we have a secondary weapon, and I really like the skill of the tenderizer. It smashes the ground and creates waves of earthquake, and it has a really nice damage. The next day, I grabbed my sword from the brewery, then made a bunch of kaya for a quest, which I got the complete breakfast recipe after completing it. Also in this game, there's an option to upgrade the potions you have. In our case, the boba tea. So now our boba tea heals 40 HP instantly. The next upgrade, it will heal like 45. Before, it was only 35. And for the rest of the day, I just spent it on the Maha Caverns again, looking for ingredients and materials. I managed to reach the entrance of the boss area, but as you can see, my inventory was full and I had no more health potions, so I think it's better that I go home rather than losing everything I've gathered so far. And so I teleported home, of course. Next morning, I finished a quest from Chanterelle right here and got a recipe for curry. Also finished Angel's quest and got myself a barbecue chicken pizza recipe and a pork chop recipe. I then went to Alder and upgraded my restaurant to level 5. and resumed collecting materials in the dungeon once more. Next morning, I upgraded my adventure belts to tier 3. Now I can carry 3 potions. Afterwards, dungeon delving is the agenda. Unfortunately though, in this adventure, I got too overwhelmed by the monsters. I ran out of potions and I ran out of health and eventually met my doom and dropped a lot of items and I hate it. Anyhow, the next morning when I went outside town, there were a lot of new quests waiting for me. I finished Zenzu's quest and got myself a recipe for kaya toast. Finished even more quests and got a recipe for pepperoni pizza. Also got recipe for curry rice. I believe most of these new recipes now are tier 3, which I can't make yet because I haven't unlocked the next dungeon. Anyhow, I opened the restaurant because I was lacking in money. Also, my fridge was starting to get full and I didn't have any more spots, so it's always nice to open the restaurant so I can deplete some of the ingredients that I have. The next day, I decided to farm at the Green Ruins because I needed some materials here like the fatty meat, wood, and stone. And destroyed BBC once more. Also, I reached floor 6 and fought the Big Mama Hen. So this boss also had a pretty simple attack pattern. So first, she would charge at me and then do like a peck attack. Next, she would fly around like that and summon her baby chickens as she lands. Another is a flying slam with her butt, easily dodgeable as long as I pay attention because there's a delay when she like lands. So all I really need to do was try to stay safe as she was pretty tanky, so it's gonna take a while before I actually killed her. The longer the fight gets, it actually gets pretty chaotic as she kept like summoning her chicken minions and they would multiply a lot and they would try to chase me down and kill me. But no worries, all my attention are focused on the Big Mama Hen, so once we kill her, I think all the minions should disappear as well. And I was right. The moment I defeated the Big Mama Hen, the minions disappeared and she flew away. For the rewards, there were a lot of equipment, but as you can see, my inventory is already full, so I need to keep deleting some stuff so I can bring the equipment home. Anyhow, after returning home, I finished Dill's quest for his date night and got a recipe for potato salad. Next day, I completed Fusili's quest and got a recipe for beef katsu. I also bought the last upgrade for my adventurer's belt. Now I can carry 4 potions at once. I finished Lancet's quest as well on defeating the Big Mama Hen and got a meaty fried rice recipe. I then opened my restaurant afterwards. I really needed to sell some stuff because my refrigerator was full already. I earned a total of 3,400 gold for the day. The next day, I went to Adler's and bought even more furniture. As you can see, I have the stone stools and stone tables. Currently, I mainly just focus on selling most of the stuff I had on my refrigerator. Also, after closing down the shop, I upgraded my preparation table to tier 4. The next day, I bought some decorations. It seems like having these decorations would increase the amount of customers I can get on my shop. I'm not entirely sure, but I just decided to try it out anyways. It wasn't really that expensive, maybe around 200 per flower. And at the very least, my restaurant looks nicer now with the flowers. And after that, I went back to the Maha Caverns to collect even more meat, potato, tomato, you name it. I then reached the floor 3 boss, and I guess I was overconfident because I challenged it with only 58 HP remaining and I only had like 1 boba tea left. I wasn't really thinking ahead of time that I might die on this fight, so I really struggled to survive. I tried my best to get as far away as possible from this thing and avoid most of its attack, but since it was all fairly new to me, I couldn't really get a feeling of how to avoid its attack. I eventually died to this guy and lost all the hard work I did for the day in the dungeon. Amazing. And so the next day, I went to the Maha Caverns again because I want my revenge match. And for this run, I mostly focus on just trying to get to the floor 3 boss. But since there are areas like this, which prevents you from going to the next area until you defeat all the monsters in the specific area, I had to do this. Anyways, revenge fight. So this bull has a pretty easy, not really easy, it's kind of hard to dodge his attacks. So when he does like 3 charging attacks, which would have been easy to dodge if I would just pay attention. Another of his attack is if its horn is glowing red, it means I can just avoid it by just running away for a bit. But if it like does that thing where like he, I don't know, pushes the ground twice, it means he's charging in. So I need to avoid that. Like I said, the red glowing horn is not really hard to avoid, but the falling rocks are annoying as well. So the hardest thing to avoid is the 3 charge attack that he does, and also the trail that he leaves. If you touch that, you get damaged and burned, I believe. Anyways, it didn't take long before I got my revenge for this alpha bully. Oh, I just realized his name is Alpha Bully because he is a bully. I hate him. Anyways, we have defeated the Alpha Bully and got our reward and our revenge. Lovely, lovely revenge. Let's go. Anyways, I continued the grind since I had some HP left to spare, but I made sure to stay safe because I don't want to lose my items again and waste my time. Alright, so the next day, I went to Alders again and upgraded my restaurant to level 6. With level 6, I can now have 2 refrigerators, and that's really great because my refrigerator is, most of the time, it's full. I then went to the Green Ruins to grind for materials afterwards. Each time I visit this ruin, I always made sure to reach floor 3 and kill the big black chicken because I wanted to have a good roll on equipments. Next day, I went to the blacksmith and upgraded my boots so I have an increase in health. I then opened up my restaurant because my refrigerator was full and I had no more spot to place my extra items. Closed the restaurant, upgraded some of my stations before I reopened it again. Honestly, my main focus right now would be to upgrade my stations to the point that the tier of dishes go up. But I need to pay my taxes first so I can unlock the next dungeon because to upgrade them for tier 3 dishes, I need materials from the next dungeon. Next day, I grabbed my boots from the blacksmith and then upgraded my gloves. So I finished some quests earning me new recipes like the laksa and the kaya toset. I then decided to just grind the green ruins for now as I needed a lot more trees and stones. Next day, I went to the blacksmith and grabbed my gloves. So finished some quests earning me the prata with curry recipe, and I then further upgraded my gloves to tier 3 giving me 15 extra health. I then ventured into the Maha Caverns to look for ingredients and materials. Had an easier time now fighting the Alpha Bully now that I know its attack patterns. So I guess I'm the bully now, not him, because as you can see, he has nothing against me now. I'm way stronger and better than before. Day 34, the upgrade was finished on my restaurant and now I had to rearrange my stuff again. So because of this upgrade, I was now able to place another refrigerator. Now we have more room to place our ingredients with. It easily got filled up and it's almost max as well. Anyways, I went out and finished some quests earning the fish head curry recipe, then checked how much it would cost to upgrade my restaurant again, and I needed like 3,500 gold. I decided that for now I will open my restaurant. I earned a total about 4,000 gold on that day. Day 35, I also just managed my restaurant. It was time for me to save 10,000 gold to pay my parents' debts. Once I reached the 10,000 gold I needed, I paid Iberico, and with this, we have paid our parents' debts. Let's go! Next day, as I came out of my room, Iberico paid me a visit once more. Seems there was still a remaining debt, the final debt of 70,000 coins. Oh my god. We'll need to save up a lot of gold to pay this final debt. So, now that we have paid our 10,000 debt, we have now unlocked the next dungeon called the Frozen Fjord. Fjords? I think Frozen Fjords. Anyways, this place was filled with fish-like creatures, like these octopus that drops tentacles. And the tentacles are actually pretty expensive once they're made to dishes. So, these things were really nice to grind at. There were also the lobsters that drop prawns and fish. Seafood in this game is really expensive, so I like this place. This place will help me get to 70,000 gold. Also a bunch of new resource called the Moonstone, and for the wood here, it's called Salt Wood, I believe. There was also a floating ice golem here, and once defeated, these things would drop like ice. Also, these crabs with a shield, which drops crab, of course. Anyhow, my main goal here was not really the ingredients, but would be happy to get a lot of ingredients. But my main focus right now was the Moonstone and the Saltwood. I needed these to upgrade my cooking station so it can make tier 3 dishes. And after returning to town, it seems I already had the materials to finish some of the quests, like this one from Goji, which gave me the tentacle soup recipe. Another one was Biscuit, who only needed some salt wood, which we already have a lot of. She then gave me a recipe for fish and chips. And we have Ankhilun here, which gave me the recipe for okonomiyaki. Ankhilun? Anyways, I gave Biscotti her request and got the fish and chips combo recipe. Also finished this little guy's request and got the recipe for a burger. Now I can upgrade my boba tea. Just waiting for the burger recipe to be unlocked. Next up, this noble lady's request for sparkling water, which gave me the recipe for an iced kakang. Also finished Naicha's request for some sunstone, and I got myself the recipe for a fried calamari. Alright, so many things happened today, so that was pretty good. Anyways, time to rest. The next day, I continued doing some quests, and I earned the recipe for a crab tempura. I also got a recipe for a black pepper crab, and lastly, a recipe for some shrimp tempura. I then opened up my restaurant at lunchtime. I did not want to waste a lunch rush because there's a lot of customers, meaning a lot of money. I then continued some quests and got a recipe for some grilled salmon with rice. And for the rest of the day, I just managed my restaurant. Then upgraded my oven to an expensive oven. Now I can craft tier 3 dishes with the oven. Alright, so the next day I continued my quest and got a recipe for some pat bingsu. So got a recipe for some seafood pizza. I then opened up my restaurant because money was the focus right now, so I can fully upgrade all my cooking stations so people would order like tier 3 dishes. After the lunch rush, I closed my shop for now and upgraded my frying pan to an expensive frying pan. Also, I upgraded my fresh milk tea into tier 3. Now it heals about 45 HP. And for the rest of the day, I just opened my restaurant for more money. Tomorrow, I'll need to dive to the dungeon because I ran out of salt wood and the moonstone. And so the next day, I went to the dungeon to collect ingredients and materials. I then upgraded my prep table to tier 5. For I just focused on restaurant management. I needed money to fully upgrade everything. And the next day, I continued grinding for materials and ingredients on the frozen fjords. I managed to reach the boss area in floor 3, and the boss seems to be Clobber. So I need to be careful because I'm fairly new to fighting this guy, so I'm not really sure what he does. But it seems way easier than the bully on the second dungeon. So yeah, he has this attack where he just clobbers in front of him. And then sometimes when he clobbers, he summons like a huge spike of glacier. Another of his attack is just digging underground and jumping at you or somewhere. So yeah, most of his attacks are fairly easy to dodge. I just need to pay attention and he won't be able to hit me. But sometimes, yeah, he also does the charge attack. That's the one that I need to look out for the most because it's the hardest to dodge in my opinion. Anyways, yeah, just continue to stab him until he dies or something. I actually didn't even need to use a single potion in this fight. Anyways, we have defeated the Clobber. I continued my grind until my inventory was full. Also, a lot of these fish ingredients are really good for money, so it's really nice to grind here. On returning to town, I finished a quest and got myself a recipe for a chili crab. Also got a recipe for a tempura maki roll. The next day, I went to Alder and upgraded my restaurant to level 7. Seeing like I had customers that order tier 3 food it gives a smile to my face because this seafood pizza, I believe, was like 700 gold or something. So I'm earning a lot of money from these guys right now. Because this other one that ordered like chili crab worth like 360 gold. I'm so happy. Thank you, my rich customers. You're the best. Look, another tier 3 dish ordered. Oh my god, I like it. Alright, and so this is my earnings for just half the day. I earned like 9,000 gold. Tier 3, tier 2 dishes are really game changers. And then reopened my shop for the second half and I earned about another 9,000 gold. Let's go. We have 20,000 gold now. So I think I can pay my taxes pretty easy. The next day, I just decided to spend my time at the Green Ruins to farm for some Orihalcum and wood. And upon returning home, I finished the blacksmith quest and gave me a barbecue feast recipe. These things are tier 4 dishes, which I can't make right now because I don't have an upgraded cooking station yet. Anyways, after my restaurant was upgraded, I then rearranged my furniture again. I'm not sure if these arrangements are more optimized than the previous one. I think it looks better that I have so much space in the middle. Anyways, I went out and got a recipe for a katsu set after finishing a quest. And also, since I had extra gold, I started upgrading my restaurant again to the next level. I actually bought some furniture from Alder. As you can see, the tables, the... how do you call those? Cabinets? There's also that Japanese thing where it covers half of the screen and some plant. Anyways, I opened up my restaurant again because, you know, time to save up like 70,000 gold. So we have the recipes or the materials to upgrade our cooking stations to the next tier. And so by the end of the day, I earned about 11,000 gold. Let's go. For day 45, I just focused on restaurant management. Currently, I have 38,000 gold now. So we're honestly getting closer and closer to paying our final debt. The next day, I submitted a few of the quests that I needed to do and got myself a recipe for a sushi set. Also, salad galore. They decided to serve these tier 4 dishes, as sometimes they will cost around 1,900 or more. Anyways, I went to the green woods because I needed to grind for some orichalcums. The next morning, it seems my restaurant upgraded again, so I had to rearrange my stuff because the space became more expanded. The outside as well, it seems like I can add even more tables, but I don't think I'll have even more customers. So I think the number of tables I have is enough to serve all the customers that are walking inside the restaurant. I then opened my restaurant per usual, but this time there were nobles. You see the noble lady right there? So these nobles don't really pick up their food. So I need to serve it myself. So the moment we get more popular, more nobles will come to the restaurant. And it will be chaotic because I need to serve them their food. It actually makes the management system fun because now I need to serve them properly, like Diner Dash. So sometimes great nobles like this guy comes to the restaurant and he orders like the most expensive and cool food each time they visit. So they're like one of the best customers to have to earn a lot of money. Yeah, just like the other nobles, I need to serve it myself. And you can already see like 3 nobles right now, but it becomes way more chaotic once there are more nobles. Like now there's like 4 of them. Anyhow, the total earning for the day was 17,000 gold. So 20,000 more and we can pay our parents' debts. Before I headed to bed, I went out of town and completed some quests, earning me a recipe for 3 meat sets. Next day, I then focused on just grinding for materials and ingredients. Killed the clobber again as he was a fairly easy dude to defeat. And then went back to town, finished some quests, earned some new recipes like the shrimp tempura udon and the soba with shrimp tempura. Day 49, the restaurant got upgraded again, and I'm pretty happy with the placement of the tables now. We have so much space now. Just maybe need to improve how the place looks now, like furnitures and stuff. Also, I continued to upgrade the restaurant, and with this upgrade, we can now have like 3 refrigerators. Then for the rest of the day, I just decided to manage my restaurant, earning a lot of money, I swear to God, because these guys are buying like tier 3 foods now. I earned a total of 22,000 gold. So I finished a quest by a noble, and then I got myself a new recipe called the pasta aglio olio. Swear to God, I've been butchering all these names because I honestly don't know how to pronounce them. Anyways, checking my recipe book, I have unlocked all my tier 2 recipes. For tier 3 and tier 4, just a couple more and we should have unlocked everything we need to unlock. The next day, I upgraded my milk tea to tier 4. I only needed the pasta in order to upgrade it to tier 4. Now we're down to the last upgrade. I then finished a quest for wakocha right here and got myself the sushi platter recipe. And afterwards, I went to the Maha Caverns because I needed some meat. I was lacking on tough meat. I had a quest which required like 14 more of these tough meat and I can get a tier 4 recipe. Anyways, after returning home, I turned in the 14 pieces of meat and got the recipe for the Carnivor's Carnival. The next day, my restaurant got upgraded again. So yeah, I had to rearrange some stuff. Also, since I had money now, I decided to pay my taxes. And with this, we have paid the final debt of our parents. Let's go! And so for the rest of the day, I just decided to manage my restaurant so I can earn the money I lost from paying my taxes. Anyhow, you think it would be over, but Biscotti paid me a visit to the restaurant, and then there was this other person. Her name was Caviar, and she was pretty rude to our establishment, actually. So this person was from the League of Cuisineers. And oh my god, she bad-mouthed our restaurant, all our hard work. Why? I mean, the food looks great though. Anyhow, Biscotti got mad for us and telling them the League of Cuisineer wasn't that great if she thinks that this restaurant was bad. So everything escalated and now we're challenging them. But in order to challenge them, there's an entrance fee of 120,000 gold. And with this, we have unlocked the Competo Swamps. Competo Swamps. So 120,000 gold entrance fee to face the League of Cuisineers. Oh my god. Alright, so I went to the Competo Swamps in order to check what was here, also to farm the materials to upgrade our cooking station. So this place was actually filled with a lot of tree-like monsters, also chickens and the fluff ball things. As for the materials, we have like a new type of wood and a new type of ore. For the wood here, it's colored blue and it's called the crystal wood. And for the new ore or stone, I couldn't really find anything on the floor 1, so I don't think it exists down here. But once I reach like floor 2, it drops. So it's called Competo. We'll be needing a lot of these Competo and crystal wood in order to upgrade all our cooking stations. The monsters here, nothing really new. It's the same monsters that we've faced already, but yeah, in this place, there are more abundance of the fatty pigs, the trees, and yeah, I think only those. Anyways, after arriving home, I then upgraded my oven twice into the deluxe oven. Now I can craft tier 4 dishes. And then for the next day, I completed some quests earning new recipes like the pasta carbonara. And then the pasta marinara. Actually, there was one more called the pasta buffet. After all of those pasta, I then went to the dungeon and grinded for ingredients and materials again. The next day, I went to Alder's shop and bought a new refrigerator. Because of my recent upgrade, I can now have like 3 refrigerators. I then opened my store for half a day, got some money, upgraded my stations to tier 7 so I can cook that lovely tier 4 dish. Then reopened my restaurant and let the money roll. For day 55, I just spent it on the green ruins to collect a lot of orichalcums. I was lacking in orichalcums because I still need to upgrade 2 more cooking stations so they can also cook tier 4 food. And upon returning home, I upgraded my prep table to tier 7 and now is capable of making tier 4 food. So the last one remaining would be the frying pan. It seems I need to go to the Competo Swamps, lacking the materials there. I'm not sure if I still need a orichalcum, but we'll see. And so for day 56, I spent my day at the Competo Swamp, looking for the materials I need to upgrade my stations, as well as gather some ingredients that I can gather. And upon returning home and looking at my recipes, I only was lacking 1 more recipe before I get everything. I'm not really sure where I can get this one. I tried looking all over town if there was a quest, but I had no luck, so I just decided to sleep afterwards. The next day, it was the Frozen Fjord. I keep butchering the word. I'm not sure how to pronounce this place. Frozen Fjord. So yeah, I was needing some moonstones and salt wood here. That's why I'm here. So upon returning home and checking the requirements for upgrading my station, just needed some orichalcum and I can upgrade it to tier 7. So the next day I farmed some orichalcums. And upon returning home, upgraded my frying pan into the best frying pan, or tier 7. Okay, so the next goal now was to earn 120,000 entrance fee for the Cuisineer, Legend of Cuisineer. Totally forgot what it's called. Anyways, the day today was pretty good. I earned like 34,000 coins. Tier 4 is just the best. Anyhow, the next day I upgraded my restaurant again to level 11. Made a new furniture. I'm not really sure if it blends well. It actually doesn't, so I need to maybe mass produce this thing and change the color or layout of my restaurant. Also added a bunch of lower tiered cooking stations. These are only used for tier 1 foods. Sometimes there's just too many customers and I can't serve them all with just, one cooking station. And for the rest of the day, I decided to just farm some ingredients because I need a lot of ingredients for a lot of money. Next day, I decided to pay Alder a visit, check the furnitures, and my idea was to make my restaurant a team of these policemen because they were the fastest. They also order expensive food. They're just pretty great in all aspects. So I'm gonna aim for the dark wood furniture set, and I would need to farm a lot of salt wood for this. So I just kept raiding the frozen area so I can get a lot of salt wood. Well, currently it's not much, but I think I'm liking the design so far. Still need a lot of saltwood to complete this. Day 62. Went to Alder's, crafted a bunch of the dark wood items. I didn't really got much, but I did manage to decorate my restaurant a bit. As you can see, I'm slowly transforming the entire thing. Anyhow, back to the grind. Day 63. More grinding. Because I really want those furniture sets. The next day though, I went to Alder, see if I had enough saltwood to have the entire place made into dark wood, but it seems I was lacking on another wood called petrified wood, which is gained from the Maha Caverns or the volcanic area. So more grinding, but this time the volcano area. Look at my restaurant. It's slowly turning into the dark wood I imagined. Slowly. I still need like 6 pieces of stool and another set of like these chests and the other set with this, which also increases the policemen's to come here. I think it's called the patrolmen's in this game. I'm not really sure. But you know what I mean. The one that has like military uniform or something. And so we grind the Maha Caverns for those lovely petrified wood. Day 65. I went to Alder's again, see if I had enough to buy all the dark wood stool I need. And it seems I do. I don't think I need any more wood from the Maha Caverns and the frozen place, the frozen fjord. Anyways, the next item set that I need are these medieval things that also increases the visitation rate of the policemen. So now we need a lot of orichalcum. So the green ruins it is. Also, I upgraded my restaurant again. So yay, more grinding. Let's go. I mostly ignore the fluffy balls now because I have too much flour on my refrigerator. Also, I sometimes ignore the chickens. So my target here are the fatty boars and the leafy greens because they're the ingredients that I'm lacking. I also have a lot of rice, so I don't really need these rice monsters. The next day, I then redecorated my base again. Sadly, I can't place 2 of these lanterns in front of the gate. I wanted them to look like a gate by facing each other from the far away. Anyhow, currently, this is how my restaurant looks, and I think it's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay, I guess, as you can see. Yeah, it's fine, right? I'm not sure. I'm not good at designing, but I think it looks fine. Anyways, back to grinding for more orichalcum. The next day, I upgraded my restaurant again to level 12. Yes, I have a lot of money. I know, because their 4 dishes are amazing. Also, I purchased a bunch of the furnitures that I wanted, and it seems I had enough to buy all that I wanted. I then decorated my restaurant before I opened it. Honestly, my next goal now, since I'm pretty satisfied with what we have done so far, is just to collect the 120,000 gold and enter the Legend of the Cuisineers. Was it Legendary Cuisineers? I'm not sure anymore. By looking at my restaurant right now, I believe that I would need to have more tables because it looks like it's gonna be full soon. So I guess that's the next plan, to add even more tables. Maybe just like 3 or 6. That's good enough. Anyways, for this day, I earned 47,000 gold. Let's go. Crazy. Day 68, I continued managing my restaurant. I really wanted that 120k gold so I can start challenging the... really need to know the terms. But anyways, the best Cuisineer in the world, I guess. So far, we have 102,000 gold coins. So there's a few more and we can pay those guys from the League of Cuisineers and challenge them. The next day, I decided to decorate my room using the stuff I don't really need at my restaurant. It looks pretty nice. It looks pretty, actually. I like it. And for the restaurant, I added my simple wooden table as well as the stool. I think it looks nice with the medieval items. So this solves this area right here. So I opened my restaurant again, just waiting for that 120,000 gold. Once I've collected enough gold, I then spoke with Caviar and I paid her the 120,000 gold, and now we have our entrance fee for the League of Cuisineers. It's not actually Legend, but it's a League of Cuisineers. Alright, so the next day, KVR paid me a visit. She told me what's gonna happen. We're gonna cook, we're gonna fight in the League of Cuisineers. I wasted no time and headed to the cooking arena for our challenge number 1. So how this is gonna work is that we have our cooking stations here, and we need to cook food and serve to the 3 judges on the center. To get the ingredients, I need to either head left or right, or bottom left and bottom right, and there will be monsters that will spawn that will give us the ingredients we need to cook the food. So that's what I did first. I challenged the monsters because I need the ingredients. It wasn't really hard, but there was an abundance of monsters, so sometimes it's gonna be hard to avoid most of their attacks. And once the 2 waves of monsters are defeated, we get a treasure chest at the end containing even more ingredients. So for now, I check if I can cook something, and then I immediately made the things that I can make. So I'm missing mushroom and fish, so I guess the next target or place to go to should be the frozen fjord. For now though, I served what I could and got myself 20 points. Actually, I entered the wrong area. I went to the Confetti swamp. But anyways, whatever. Ingredients is ingredients. Let's just kill everything here. And I swear to God, just look at the amount of monsters here. It's really hard to survive in this place. But thank God we have like our 4 boba teas that could heal us. Still though, it can get really dangerous if I'm not careful. But anyways, we cleared the area with 2 boba teas remaining. And it seems like our competition is in the lead with 30 points and I'm only at 20. I only serve like 1 food. Anyways, I went back to my kitchen and see what I can serve, and I can only serve like a burger. But that's fine. Tier 2 is equivalent to like 20 points. So once I serve this burger, I'll have 40 points and I'll be in the lead. Alright, so after serving the burger, I then headed to the frozen area because I needed some ice because someone was requesting for some ice kakang. I'm not really sure if it still stays there, but it would always be nice to have more ingredients than nothing. And after beating the wave, I got the treasure and I immediately headed back to my station. The opponent is already in the lead with 50 points. So I started cooking for the judges. I served them everything that I could. I now had the ingredients I can make for whatever they want. So I just continued doing this until I will overtake my opponent and he will have no chance to retaliate. So this challenge is 15 minutes long. So even if I'm way ahead in the point system, I still need to wait for the 15-minute timer to go up. And as you can see, yeah, I'm way ahead. I'm like almost 2 times his points. He just can't beat me anymore. I have so many ingredients on hand. I challenged like 3 instances, so I don't think I'll be running out of ingredients anytime soon. I can just serve at an unlimited fashion. Anyhow, let's skip to the finale. So 20 seconds left. I have 875 points and the opponent only has 90 points. So it's obvious who will win. Me.
Odds of challengers. The verdict is out. The winner of this challenge is Pong.
Alright, let's go. We won. Cool. Now, we need to wait for the next day to have the second challenge. I went home, placed down one of the rewards, which was a table. And I think it looks pretty decent and nice. But yeah, I think currently I like my restaurant as it is. So I think I'll just remove this. Now, time to sleep. Right, for challenge number 2, our enemy is Xiao Longbao from the Western Yang Eastern Palace River of Forgetfulness, Lamian Lomin, Kitchen, blah blah blah. Anyways, let's kick his butt. I immediately went to the Green Ruins spawn area and started gathering all the ingredients that I could. I just lure all the monsters in one side and just spam them my skills, but still they hurt. As you can see, my HP is already drained to 135. I actually had a hard time here. I'm not sure if the enemies became tankier or maybe there's just more threatening enemies. But I already used up one of my boba teas and I'm already down to half health. It's crazy how strong they got or how weak I became. Anyways, I finished the first area and got some ingredients. And then let me just check if I can cook something off of these ingredients. And yeah, I got one. And yeah, I just won. So So I guess after serving this, I will head to the frozen area to get some ice. And so the grind begins again. Currently, the enemy's on the lead with 20 points and I only have 10. I don't really mind. Once I have all the ingredients, I think I can easily win this competition. And after finishing the area, gotten all my rewards, it's time to check if I can cook something. There's only like 10 minutes left on this challenge. It's still pretty long. I'm not really nervous. I think I have a lot of stuff. And as you can see, I do have 3 of the stuff. And oh my god, if he serves first, I don't think I can submit that thing anymore. Sadly, he got first. Well, no worries. I can serve the other 2 dishes anyways. I continued serving all the judges until I was in the lead by 100 points. He was no match at all. And once I ran out of like materials, I headed to the Maha covered instance and fought the monsters there. After winning this area, it's time to head back to our kitchen and continue destroying my opponent by my overwhelming points. I actually made a mistake of continuously challenging another instance, and I did not think that a boss would spawn. Just look at the amount of enemies I need to fight. I have no more boba teas. I have 137 HP left. So I really have to play it safe. I already have victory on my hands. 360 points. I'm like in the lead by, let's say, 230. And I just risked it all by going in another instance dungeon. So yeah, playing it safe would be ideal. I can wait like 4 minutes. I can keep running away or something. But nah, I'll try to survive as much as I can and kill everything here. But it's gonna be dangerous. But good thing the enemy is the Clobber. The Clobber is, I guess, one of the easiest bosses. Not the easiest. The easiest would be the big hen, the big black chicken. And yeah, let me just do my best. Maybe I can survive this. Spoiler alert, I'm almost dead, but I think I will win this. I have my skill up and just one slap and he dies and I got the rewards. Let's go. Let's beat our opponent, slap him hard with our leading points. Currently, we're in the lead by 200, but that won't stop me from getting more points. Anyways, in the end, I got like 530 points. He only had like 190. That was no challenge at all. I'm still in the lead, just like the other challenge. Winner is Palm. Yeah, me. Let's go. All right, so for our 3rd challenge, we have Borgoinen. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Borgoinen. Well, whatever. Let me beat this old man. Oh, there's a mistake I made here. I actually changed my weapon into a swordfish. I thought it would be better because we're dealing with a mob, but it seems my swordfish can't really do that much damage in comparison to my tenderizer and my giant knife combo. So I kinda hate how this challenge is going, and it's the 3rd challenge, the last opponent. And I feel like I'm gonna be having a hard time dealing with all the monsters here. I really should have brought my tenderizer instead. Anyways, I finished this first instance of the challenge with only 2 boba teas left. I even used the fountain and yeah, I don't think I have enough. Still, I continued collecting materials, see if I can still win this. But the most surprising part for me was, it's only the 2nd instance, but a boss got spawned, the big black chicken. So yeah, down to 1 more boba tea, down to like 56 more health, and these annoying bulls are everywhere. I'm honestly in danger here. I'm not even sure if I can win. Anyway, a little spoiler alert, I have defeated the BBC and got my reward. But I can no longer go to any other instance dungeon as I only have 66 HP left with no more potions. So I started cooking. Honestly, after serving like the first 2 dish, I don't think I have anything else or any other ingredients that could make the other dishes. So in the end, I gave up because I thought that I would lose this fight. I will come back the next day with a tenderizer on hand. So I came back again, day 73, now with both the longsword and the tenderizer. I have nothing to fear now, but actually, I wasn't wrong. I think the monsters really were tougher. For some reason, they were really hard to kill. Still, I'm proud of myself for completing this first challenge with my full boba still intact. But everything was gonna change the moment I stepped into the frozen fjord. Because these dang lobsters that are spraying water and these dang octopus, everything here was very strong. It was very hard to deal with them, honestly. And the worst thing was, on its 2nd phase here, the alpha bully was summoned. Like, oh my god, it's my most hated boss because it's the most annoying to fight with. And it's the one that got summoned. So I'm pretty sure I'll be wasting a lot of potions here in order to deal with this guy. And yeah, I was right. All my boba teas are gone and I'm dying. I'm just doing my best to survive right now. Maybe I still have a chance. Maybe I have the ingredients that the judges are asking for. So I'm just hoping for the best at this point. I eventually killed the bully and got some materials. Started cooking for the judges. Sometimes they request like tier 4 food that is only worth like 40 points because it's tier 4. I avoid those as they require a lot of materials. I will only cook food that requires the least amount of materials and if I have abundance of it. Like this okonomiyaki right here, I have the materials but I don't plan on making it. And even though I had a hard time with the monsters here, I was still on the lead by 540 points and the enemy only has like 170. Haha, I won the challenge. And the winner of the challenge is me. But actually, there's a final challenge waiting for me. Like what? I thought it was the last one. But sure, whatever. I don't care. Let's go. Let's fight. Anyways, I headed over to the last and final challenge. And to my surprise, it was my parents. Mom and dad. Dang, the reigning champions are mom and dad. Mom was so shocked. Anyways, they don't really reveal their names, so they're called mom and dad. They honestly look pretty cool. And here I thought it was a cooking battle, but it seems it was a Mortal Kombat actually. So the mom has a really hard pattern to dodge. Like it's very wide. She also does the charge. It's like she's the bully. And for the jump attack, the window of dodging is really little. So I need to time it right in order to avoid everything. Anyways, this is just the first fight. So I'm just feeling all the attack patterns they have. And once I memorize this, it should be easy. So I continuously try to do my best. Eventually, I have defeated Mom. So after defeating Mom, he will then call to Dad. With 51 HP left and like 1 boba tea, I don't think I can beat this guy. As you can see, his last... Dad is like the agility type, while Mom is like the strength type. So look how agile Dad is, and he uses like range weapon. He also has the throwing plates that are frozen property, and he has a freaking Rasen Shuriken like Naruto does, and he has a sniper. There's so many things that this man can do, and it's really hard to find out a way to attack this guy as his Rasen Shuriken tries to like catch me. Anyways, nothing is hard as long as we try to learn their attack patterns. So like I said, I'm still studying what they do, and once I've learned what they can do, I think they'll be easy next time. But I swear to God, the Rasen Shuriken and the sniper combo is really annoying. Anyways, I ultimately died because, yeah, they were pretty strong. So I had to like try again next time. For now, I wanted to grind. So on day 75, I just grinded at the Maha Caverns and sold a bunch of stuff at my restaurant. Because like I said, there was still one more recipe that I need to unlock. And for it to be unlocked, I just need 1 item. And I didn't have the money to purchase the item. It's a plate, the throwing plate. So I'm looking for that item, or I'm just looking for ingredients so I can sell food and like buy the item instead. But I was lucky enough to get it. So I delivered the item to KVR and she gave me the pizza party. And now we have unlocked all the recipe. We have completed our book from tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the only thing left now was the final challenge, was just to face Mom and Dad again. I changed my weapon to the swordfish to see if speed can help with this, but it seems like the opposite actually. It was harder to even get a hit and run away at the same time. My plan was to dash attacks for more distance, but it didn't really work out. I managed to defeat Mom and Dad though, so I was very happy and I thought it was victory. But then he called Mom again. Like I was like, what? 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 There's more? And I died. I need to change strategies again. I need to figure out how I can win. So I challenged them again, but this time with the sword and with the tenderizer. And now I was more careful than ever. I have learned their attack pattern after the engagement so far. And I think I should be able to win this now. Maybe. Hopefully. I hope. So when I said the small window, the moment like the circle on me stops moving, I would dash out. So like I said, I have learned the attack pattern. They are not a threat anymore. Maybe sometimes when I get like very cocky, I guess, and they can't dodge. Anyways, there goes Mom. Dad is left. So for Dad, I mainly focus on dodging his stabby stab. And then once he throws his egg, it was time to like charge at him. I have my shield with the two-handed sword, if I could just time it well. But anyways, I got the timing for the Rasen Shuriken and the sniper, so it's easy to dodge that once I got used to it. So yeah, patience is key on this fight. So my best opportunity to defeat Dad was when he throws the egg. I just charge in with my shield, and once he throws his plate, it will go back at him because of my shield. So that's the best way I can deal damage him a lot. As for the Rasen Shuriken, I just need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, then dodge, and his sniper won't hit me. And then after that's done, he will usually take a break, then I have a lot of window to hit him with. Anyways, after defeating that, I still had like 1 boba tea left. So all I need to do now was just very careful so I can defeat the last mom. Swear to God, mom with the raging fire is so hard to dodge everything that she does. And I also have the burn effect, which drains more of my health. Also, not only do we need to defeat mom, but that is assisting her. So yeah, it's very hard. Ultimately, I was overwhelmed and died again. Anyways, I challenged them again. And as you can see, I have a lot of health. I have a lot of boba teas. I've learned so far from all my mistakes. And now I'm doing better than ever. This was honestly a very close fight. Like, oh my god. They actually drained me of all my boba teas. But now that with my skills are up and mom is resting, I think I have a chance of defeating her now. And with this, we have defeated the reigning champions of the League of Cuisineers. So because of this victory, mom and dad are both proud of us. Like, yeah, I'm also proud of myself. Oh my god, that was hard actually. Now, they're a very happy family. They look like they're really tired from all the fighting. So we have achieved victory, we have done everything we could, and we have defeated the League of Cuisineers. Anyways, after the battle, they left immediately and they went back to their tour around the world, I guess, their adventures. Just look at this happy couple leaving us their debt, leaving us their restaurant as they just go and be happy. Damn. Anyhow, I got a treasure chest as a reward and it contained a lot of goodies, especially the weapons. The weapons had like tier 3, how do you call this? Stats or enhancement. But the stats is something I didn't like, except for the crit rate up. I like the crit rate up. Anyways, after getting home, Biscotti then congratulated us for what we have done. Our parents also left us a message to express their joy about our success. And they said that there's still so many places that they wanted to visit. So anyways, I'm just glad that they're happy. So yeah, that was it. Thank you guys for watching my 100 days in Cuisineer. Hope you guys enjoyed your stay here. It was pretty fun and restaurant management was also fun. It was also always nice to see like tier 4 dishes being sold. So yeah, I've unlocked everything. I completed all the recipe. I completed all the quests. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button and hope you enjoyed your time here. Bye now.